Hey friend, Tasha here, and today what I'm going to walk through are the five, what I will call recruiting bottlenecks. These are the reasons that you or your team members are just not recruiting people into your business powerfully. And this whole process started, or this concept started, because I believe that instead of asking, why am I not a better recruiter, we need to ask, why am I not a better recruiter? Now, the default answer is typically, I am not even trying. And so if we're in this, like, why am I not even trying, like kind of feeling, we tend to do a couple of solutions, right? One is to do a blitz, close your eyes and just do it and send out a bunch of canned messages, or we wallow in shame and we go to lots and lots of mindset training to figure out what's wrong with us. And what I'm going to encourage you to do today is have a more grounded attitude toward why am I not recruiting? And I'm going to walk you through what's actually happening in your business or your team member's business. So this could be really useful for you, but if you could be a really good recruiter and you're like, what the heck? Why is my team not recruiting? This is going to give you some insights. So a lot of people have blocks, resistance, feelings, etc. And then they get stuck. This is not just new people. This happens pretty much at every level. So what happens is every time your business goes up a level, sometimes it's a rank, or sometimes it's just a fundamental shift in the number of team members you have and active customers that you have on your team. All the bottlenecks open back up again, right? They show up as, am I even trying, right? My definition of trying, this is bottleneck number one. My definition of trying is, am I inviting 3 to 4 people to a business overview per week? If I'm not doing that, if I'm not having 2, 3, or 4 actual business overview appointments in a month, then I'm probably not even trying. But the question is, why am I not even trying? And I look at this like a speedboat. So the trying, right, the effort is like gas in your speedboat. But if you have anchors, 4 anchors on your speedboat, no matter how hard you hit the gas, you're just going to run out of gas and you're not going to go anywhere. And so it's really important when you're looking at these recruiting bottlenecks that we know what the right problem is so we can find the right solution. So what'll happen a lot of times is if we're asking the wrong problem, we'll get the wrong answer, we'll get the wrong solution. So we need to start with the right question. Here are the questions broken up into these 5 bottlenecks to look at. I'm going to go through all 5, and then I'm going to go through each one in a little bit more detail with some solutions, practical solutions for you. So number 1 bottleneck, I'm not even trying. Well, why are we not even trying? Number 2 bottleneck, do I even want to be a network marketing leader? Number 3 bottleneck, what do I do if they say yes? That could be the scariest one. Number 4 bottleneck is, am I good enough to be a leader at this level? And number 5 bottleneck, does my recruiting process stink? These are all 5 of these reasons and sub reasons based on rank is why people are not recruiting. And so we want to dig in here and get past the surface. So let's look at bottleneck number 2. Do I want to be a network marketing leader? Where does this come from? This comes from maybe you're worried about your reputation in your community. Maybe you love the product so much. And then the next step is to recruit, but you haven't personally promoted yourself from being a follower to being a leader, which is an active switch in our brains. Just like if we had a corporate job, we would actually apply for a promotion. Maybe we haven't made that switch. Maybe we're not sure what network marketing leadership would look like. I'd maybe look at my upline and they're traveling a lot. The way they're doing it is not what I would want to do. I don't have time. I'm not, like, I've only had boss employee relationships. Now it's going to be independent contractors. That feels confusing. So number 1 is, do I want to be a network marketing leader? So how do we solve this? The first way to solve it is to look at what is your role as a network marketing leader, what is not your role as a network marketing leader. So your role as a network marketing leader is to be a good role model for the compensation plan. So work your own business. Number 2, provide clarity through next steps. Number 3, encourage through success stories. Number 4, share resources. What is not your role is to be the therapist, is to babysit people's work, is to get involved in their marriage issues if their spouse isn't supportive, or to find a network for them. Those things are not your role. Stay in your role and let them have their particular role. You can't make them learn, right? They have to do that on their own. And so getting clear on what your role is and what your role isn't makes network marketing leadership feel more manageable. The next bottleneck is, what do I do if they say yes? And this is the most insidious bottleneck of them all. And it's actually born in logistics. So I think a lot of people feel shame, like, I don't even know what to do if they say yes. Instead of really digging into that question, what do I do if they say yes? And so what I recommend, there's 2 recommendations to fix this problem. Number 1 is time block how much time you have to work. And if you only have time to mentor like 1 or 2 people, then we'll switch to group mentoring, like having a power hour where you guys just sit down and do the work together and encourage each other, or maybe an office hour, kind of like a college professor might do, or just like a team meeting. Move from one-on-one to group if you're starting to run out of, worried you're going to run out of time if you really do well. And the other part of the what if they say yes bottleneck is just the logistics of how do you get people started. So just make a 3-step process for if someone wants to start, their first step is to do this, second is this, third is this. You'll want to have one for remote people that don't live near you, and then people who do live near you. So what are their first 3 steps to get their first new customer or first new builder? We're just going to focus on getting them started, not getting them finished. So that's how we address the what if they say yes bottleneck. The 4th bottleneck is, am I good enough to be a leader at this level? And this one's tricky because the answer is yes and no. As leaders, we're going to constantly be making mistakes. We just need to be a step ahead, and we just need to be able to do the things, right? Be a good role model, encourage clarity, and share resources. Now, as long as we're doing that to the best of our ability at that time, you are qualified to be a network marketing leader. So it comes down to your role. I think the other thing, we get caught in compare and despair. And so I would just look at your strengths as a leader. I like to use a strengths-based leadership as a tool, or just like process some of your baggage. Some of the things that make me feel like I'm not good enough to be a leader are, if I go through and I take the lessons I learned from those failures, that's just wisdom I can pass on to others, and maybe they won't make those same errors, right? So the things that make me disqualified to be a leader, if I process them and change and move forward, then it makes me qualified to be a leader. So that's how I'd address good enough to be a leader bottleneck. The 5th bottleneck is, does my recruiting process stink? And here's what I mean by that. Is the invitation something kind of weird, like, do you want to do the business, which I personally kind of sounds like joining the mafia? Or is it something that people are going to respond more positively to? Like, I don't want to make any assumptions. Would you like to know how to earn free product or income with this company? Right? You're much more likely to get a yes to the second one than do you want to do the business. The other piece of the recruiting process that's really important is the recruiting business overview. So just like if you were to sell a kit or a pack or a service, you would want to have like a sales outline or presentation. We need to have one of those for the process of inviting someone to join the business, in between them saying, yes, I'd like to learn how, and to when are they started? What are they starting? So we want to have an agenda, input, how it works, how to get paid. And we want to have those in like slides, like a visual, and then also an outline for you so that you can stay on track. And we want it to be simple and straightforward. Basically, in your recruiting process, you don't want to miss anyone in your recruiting process, forget to invite. And we also don't want to say or do things that will make it feel more complicated than it already is. That's how we make our recruiting process simpler and better. Okay, let me do a quick recap on the 5 bottlenecks. And really my purpose for this video, or if you're listening to it on audio, is to help you to understand that if you take a big problem and you break it down into little pieces, we start to feel more empowered. Like, what do I do if they say yes? Okay, first, I feel normal. Like, these are normal things that everybody goes through. And then second, what I want to do is there are solutions. When I get the right problem, I can find the right solution. So here are the 5 bottlenecks. Number 1, am I even trying? Number 2, do I want to be a network marketing leader? Number 3, what do I do if they say yes? Number 4, am I good enough to be a network marketing leader? Number 5, does my recruiting process stink? I want you to take the one that is the most helpful for you and just start working toward it and eliminating it until when you ask yourself that question around that bottleneck, it doesn't sting anymore. Then you can move on to the next one. Again, if you guys want help with this, we are happy to help. All we do all day, our team's goal is to give confidence and hope and skills to network marketers. And so if you want to journey together with me on these bottlenecks, please let us know. We are happy to help and make this faster for you. So that you can get through it and build the team that you've always dreamed of and help all the people and impact people and encourage people and all of those good things. So I hope this video is helpful for you. I hope to talk to you soon and have a great day.